AI is not coming for your job, but it is coming for some people and not others. Ever wonder why the same AI that's supposed to replace everyone seems to be targeting some people and completely ignoring others? Today, I'll explain how AI actually decides who's useful, like your 5. And by the end, you'll know exactly where you stand and what to do about it. Here's the scenario I want you to hold on to through this whole video. Imagine it's Monday morning and you've just opened your laptop. There's an email from HR with the subject line, Organizational Efficiency Update. That's corporate for someone's getting cut. And the question burning in your stomach is it me? Or is it the person across the hall who's been in 3 alignment meetings this week and hasn't shipped a single thing? That question is exactly what this video answers. And the truth is stranger than you'd expect. What AI actually replaces isn't work, it's filler. Think about what most office jobs actually look like in practice, not what the job description says. Someone sends an email, and then someone else schedules a meeting to discuss it in person. Someone prepares a slide deck summarizing the meeting. Someone writes a follow-up email about the slide deck. Someone schedules a follow-up to the follow-up. And somewhere in the middle of all that, maybe something useful actually happens. AI can do every single one of those buffering steps in about 30 seconds, and without the scheduling conflicts, the delays, or the passive-aggressive reply-alls. But here's the thing. The person doing those tasks and calling it productivity isn't the same as the person actually solving problems. They're not the same as someone making real decisions, building real relationships, creating real outcomes. Those two people just looked identical on paper, but that's no longer true. Until now, there was no reliable way to tell them apart, but that's changed. For the last 20 years, activity has been disguised as output, and the whole system rewarded motion, not progress. If you were busy, you looked valuable. And if your calendar was packed, you must be important. If you sent enough emails, you must be contributing. The whole system was built on motion, not progress, and AI just broke that illusion completely. Think of it like a rowing team. 8 people in a boat, and 6 of them are rowing hard. 2 of them are just moving their oars back and forth. Enough to look like they're helping, not enough to actually add speed. When everyone's exhausted and the race is close, you genuinely can't tell the difference. But now imagine a machine that rows perfectly and never gets tired. You put it in the boat, and suddenly you have room to look around. And those 2 people with the decorative oars? Now everyone on the team can see exactly what they've been doing. The effort was always optional. The illusion just required everyone to be tired enough not to notice. That's what AI just did to every workplace on Earth. Before we get to who survives this, here's why your first instinct about AI and jobs is probably wrong. Most people assume AI takes the bottom of the ladder first. The entry-level stuff, the grunt work. And yes, some of that's true. Basic data entry, scheduling, first draft writing, repetitive customer emails. AI handles all of it, and better than a bored human ever could. But that's not the whole story. And the part most people miss is what happens to the layer above. A lot of the management layer sitting above that entry-level work was mostly just organizing, summarizing, and delegating the entry-level work. If AI can do the work, it can also do the organizing, the summarizing, and the delegating. McKinsey estimated that roughly 60% of all occupations have at least 30% of their activities that could be automated, and a significant chunk of that sits squarely in middle management functions. That's not a small rounding error, that's a structural shift. So the middle layer doesn't disappear because the bottom got automated. The middle layer disappears because it was secretly just a shell around the bottom layer the whole time. That's exactly where your coast-along coworker lives, right there inside that shell. Now, here's where it gets interesting and a little uncomfortable, because that coworker isn't always the person who does the least. Sometimes it's the person who does the most visible version of nothing. The one who dominates every meeting without driving any outcome. The one who sends long messages that say nothing after you've read them carefully. The one who copies 7 people on an email that should have been a single sentence. AI doesn't just automate their tasks. It makes those tasks irrelevant as a category. The job title survives. The reason for it doesn't. But here's the open loop you need to sit with. What about the people genuinely working hard on stuff AI can do, just competently? Are they safe? The honest answer? It depends entirely on what they built while doing it. The workers who win aren't the ones who never did repetitive tasks. They're the ones who used repetitive tasks to learn something deeper. The analyst who ran reports by hand for 3 years and in the process figured out which numbers actually matter and why. The customer service rep who answered the same questions 10,000 times and got genuinely good at reading people and de-escalating tension. The operations coordinator who manually tracked logistics for years and developed a sixth sense for where things break down before they actually do. The task was the training ground. AI can replace the task. It cannot replace what you learned by doing it. Think of it like GPS. GPS replaced the need to memorize routes. But people who spent years navigating cities, reading traffic, finding shortcuts, they developed an intuition that GPS never gave anyone. The driver who grew up on GPS? Slightly lost when the signal drops. The experienced driver still knows exactly where they're going. That intuition is your actual job security. Not your title, not your tenure. Your intuition. Now, here's what's actually showing up in companies that have deployed AI tools. And this part genuinely surprises people. The workers who outperform everyone else aren't the ones trying to compete with AI. They're the ones using AI as a leverage multiplier. One experienced marketer with AI tools is producing the strategic output that used to require a team of 5. One developer with an AI coding assistant is shipping code twice as fast. One financial analyst with AI summarization is reviewing 10 times more data in the same window of time. The workers who were already good just got dramatically more powerful. And the ones who weren't? The gap between them and the top performers isn't closing. It's accelerating in the other direction. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. This leverage gap compounds over time. A good analyst using AI doesn't just outperform a bad analyst once. They outperform them every single day, and the distance grows. 6 months from now, the gap between someone using AI well and someone ignoring it won't be a small advantage. It'll look like a different species doing a different job at a different company. The compounding is quiet right now. It will not stay quiet. The workers who are coasting on looking busy just got dramatically more visible. This is the moment the gap widens. And it widens fast. So come back to that Monday morning email. Organizational efficiency update. Who's actually safe? Not the person with the longest tenure. Not the person with the most meetings. The person who built real judgment doing real work and is now using AI to do 10 times as much of it. That's it. That's the whole answer. The people who've been quietly doing actual work just received the biggest upgrade of their careers. AI handles the tedious parts now. You get to focus entirely on the parts that only you can do. The relationship building, the judgment calls, the reading of a room, the knowing when a number looks wrong even before you check. You're not competing with AI, you're flying it. The people who are waiting to see how this plays out, or assuming their job title protects them, or still measuring productivity by inbox volume, they're about to have a very interesting conversation with HR. So here's the question I want you to think about and drop in the comments. As AI strips away the filler and makes real output visible, does that make the workplace more fair? Or does it just create a new system where a different kind of person learns to game it, and we don't figure out who for another decade?